this is Dave Sherwin with Dr. Kepo'o. Today we've got a very interesting topic. A lot of people don't think about, but it's highly relevant to all of us. And I can introduce it best with a story. Did you know that children have been studied as they run? This I got from a running book. I believe it was Running on Air. I'm trying to give credit where credit's due, but whatever running book it was, they videotaped children before they went to elementary school. And they found they were naturally good runners. They tended to run with good form. They leaned forward from their ankles. Their hands were in the right place. They had a natural swing. Their whole body was aligned. All those good things were happening very naturally. All the things we try to teach college runners and expert runners. Then they studied those children, videotaped them, a year after, the next summer after they'd been through first grade. And immediately were startled to see that almost all of those children had become heel strikers that ran with their foot getting too extended out in front of them and their heel landing first. They all had bad posture, meaning that their hips had shortened through here and they were leaning forward, and their shoulders had also rolled forward into the type of posture most of us have in North America, which is like this. And you're a chiropractor with a degree in physical, what's exactly your degree?
My bachelor's degree was in physical education, and then I got my doctorate in chiropractic, and then one of my specialties coming out of school was all about posture and biomechanics.
Posture and biomechanics,
yeah.
Which is what we're talking about. So you understand this and have tried to correct this with so many people. It starts in grade school. We all have to deal with it. According to WHO, the World Health Organization, 60% of obesity could be prevented because through activity or through inactivity. 60% of the world's obesity is caused. So this is a big deal. It affects our weight, it affects our posture, it affects our athleticism, it affects all these other things. Let's talk about slouching, just slouching. Define slouching for us.
Slouching basically is when you've allowed all the frontal muscles right in here to just relax. Okay. So you end up just sitting like this. You're letting gravity take you down, right? And it's interesting because the reason why the children actually started running off, right, is because they have been slouching for a whole year.
So sitting,
yeah, they've been sitting
forward,
and so all these muscles are now, they're stuck in this position.
And we've all been through first grade, and now we're grown up, and we still often are grown up with this bad posture.
Right.
Causing.
Right. And slouching causes decrease in oxygen intake in the body, just simply because you're crushing your lungs, you're crushing your heart. So you can't get the oxygen where you need to, so you don't breathe it in, you don't distribute it properly.
Okay, so when we're good posture, upright, we're utilizing oxygen.
Exactly, yeah, you get more oxygen, okay? Attitude, motivation, depression, okay? One simple reason why this actual slouching causes this is because of O2 intake. You're not getting the oxygen inside your body, it's not getting into your brain, so your function is lower, and so you're just naturally going to feel worse.
Okay, so what I've learned from my research into this is that we all have the problem. We all have to work on our posture.
Correct.
Every one of us. All the time. Most of us have to overcome bad habits developed over a very long period of time, and it may take a long period of time to correct it, but it's worth doing. Let's talk about posture then.
Okay, posture. Now bracing sequence. This is one of your expertise, so tell us about that.
Okay, so the bracing sequence is something that you learn a lot in CrossFit. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But whether you're doing CrossFit or you're a runner, you're a rower, or whatever you are doing, or you're just trying to lose a few pounds, what you want to do is when you're standing, the bracing sequence starts with your feet. If you simply plant your feet about shoulder width apart in a kind of an athletic stance, knees slightly bent, and do what we call screw them into the floor. Mm-hmm. What that means is you're just going to apply pressure to the outside like that, but without moving them like that. You're just applying pressure. And as soon as you do that, you tighten up the joints of your knees and your hips. So it starts with your feet, screw them into the floor. Hips forward, shoulders back, and then we describe it in CrossFit as shrink wrap. Shrink wrap your torso. It's the feeling of sucking in your gut, and as you're rolling your shoulders back and down, and then get that shrink wrap feeling around your torso. So that is from the feet to the head. It's shoulders back and down, abdomen in, feet screwed into the floor, hips, when you screw your feet in the floor, you'll hear it, you'll feel it. If you want to stop the video right now and stand up, you'll notice it right away. And it's an athletic, strong posture. And it's how we should stand.
Exactly. Yep, and you can actually do a lot of your exercise in this bracing sequence too, like when you're doing squats, right? Doing squats, that's a proper way to applying squats. You can even do this when you're running, okay? Now, of course, the screwing with your legs into the ground is going to be harder.
Right.
But you can use that to make sure you have proper posture whenever you're doing any activity in your life.
You should be doing a checkup during your activity of, are my shoulders back and down? Am I tight through my midline? Am I straight? For example, weightlifters often do a lot of their weightlifting from bad positions. Better to go with the lighter weight and be in a very good posture than to go with a heavy weight that makes you slouch or roll forward or do anything to compensate to get that weight up, but from a bad position.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yep.
Chiropractic.
Now, I'm a little biased on this because I'm a chiropractor.
And I'm biased because you're my chiropractor.
Yes.
But I come every week. I would not miss that appointment.
Yeah.
I need that. By the time I see you, you know, I need it. I'm out of whack.
Yeah, and this doesn't go just for people who have high activity levels like you. People who have low activity need it even worse because of that, you know, posture that they're sitting at their computer all day, or they're sitting at the TV, right? Chiropractic is an excellent way to actually not just, you know, pop your joints and get you sitting in a better posture, but it actually retrains your nervous system to keep a proper posture. So you don't have to be like doing this all day. You actually can retrain your body to just think naturally good posture.
Yeah,
so
my posture is much improved since I started seeing you.
Okay.
I didn't know how bad I was. My shoulders are kind of always like this. I've gotten a lot better.
That's brilliant. So
chiropractic, it's inexpensive and everyone can access a chiropractor. If you're in Utah, come see Dr. Kepo'o. If you're not in Utah, call Dr. Kepo'o's office because he's very well connected. You know people all over the country and can give them a good recommendation. And some of what you do, some of your training that is the coolest stuff is actually not done locally. So they are ohanachiropractor.com. Check that out. Next, we've got a sub-point of posture under posture. The TED Talk.
Yes.
Great TED Talk. What's it called?
I don't remember the exact name of it. It has to do with power postures.
So go to YouTube, look up TED Talk Power Posture.
Yes. Yep.
And great training on
power
that.
Postures. Yeah, it talks all about how posture can actually create physiological changes that actually makes you look and be more powerful.
People were researched before a job interview, and they were instructed to sit with very poor posture before the interview.
Right. And
the control group was taught to sit in a power position.
Right.
And the results were dramatic of who got hired and who didn't.
Yeah, and this was before the interview, so it wasn't that they
this
had
is just
bad
how they
posture
sat before the
during
interview.
Yeah, it was before. So
yeah, because back to these, research has shown people with good posture have better attitude, they process oxygen better, they're more motivated, and less likely to depression.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, walking.
Walking. It's just, movement is what keeps life going, right?
Okay.
And so walking is one of those simple activities that if you can, especially if you're at a job where you're at the computer a lot, if you can get up and walk twice a day for 10 to 20 minutes, that actually can help improve oxygen intake. It keeps your joints lubricated. I mean, it does so many different things just to keep you healthy and alive. So.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, on the Heart Association's website, their #1 recommendation for avoiding heart disease is try to walk for 30 minutes a day.
There you go.
It's
easy.
It's highly recommended from a very reputable source. Leads right into footwear.
Yes.
If you got the wrong stuff on your feet, that walking may not be helping near as much as it could.
Exactly. In fact, let's bring in this little prop here.
5 fingers.
Yeah.
Going through a massive lawsuit.
Talk about the lawsuit.
I don't know a lot about the lawsuit. All I know is that some of the claims that 5 fingers made have been proven false. A lot of people have been injured in their 5 fingers. And so to me, there's good and bad about it. It's too bad, really, because these are the best walking shoes. I exercise, I do my CrossFit in a minimal shoe. So this is a very minimal shoe. This is the 5 fingers where your toes are actually separated. I can't stand the 5 fingers because I just don't like how it separates my toes. It feels totally unnatural. But I like a minimalistic shoe for sure. And a heel, I've come to understand, and you'll probably agree with me, heels are the devil. Sorry ladies, wear them for special occasions for sure, and they look great, and you look wonderful in your high heels, but don't wear them that often. And for guys, and men and women, don't wear a heel at all as often as you can. So this It's a phenomenal walking shoe. It's too bad they have this massive lawsuit against them. But the fact is, even our own local university cross-country team found they had more stress fractures when we went to a totally minimal shoe. And so you can't go all out in a totally minimal shoe. You've got to maybe use a minimal shoe. I'm talking about running now, on and off, combined with a thicker soled shoe, because there is more stress on your body. Generally speaking though, I use a completely minimal shoe. I even for my dress shoes now, I buy them from Tune Footwear, T-U-N-E, guys, check that one out. It's a very natural shoe with no heel, very, very comfortable. They look a little funny, that's my one complaint about them, because they have the wide toe box so that your feet, your toes can splay. Toes are supposed to splay out. They're not supposed to be confined in your shoe.
Right.
So part of the minimalistic shoe is look for one with no heel, allows your toes to spread, and has a minimal sole, unless you're a runner, in which case I actually use a minimal shoe for some of my training, but not all. Anything you want to add to that?
Wow, that was perfect. Great.
Okay, activity.
Yeah, that activity again, just like the walking, movement is what keeps life going, right? And so there's a lot of different ways that you can stay active, and even if you have like a desk job, right? So we've got yoga, walking, body weight exercise. You know, you can take 10 minutes out of your day, find a chair, do some dips on the chair, do some push-ups on the ground.
We have a list of these. We won't go through all of them, but we got some really good detail on all this. ohanachiropractor.com is Dr. Kepo'o's site, where we have this in the show notes. And I also have it at my own site, easywellnessclub.com, for all of my customers. And so make sure and check that out. We've also got a phenomenal infographic with a lot of this information.
Exactly. Yep.
We have we will put the TED Talk that we reference, so you won't have to look that up. We'll put it on our show notes. And as you talked about these, let me stop you on yoga for 1 minute. The reason I put yoga here is because anyone can do it. Men, women, old and young. And yoga, the other thing I love about yoga, you don't have to join a gym. There are so many great apps. I've experimented with 3 to find the one that I really like the best. This morning, I started my day with a 10-minute sun salutation. Got my back stretched out, got me feeling good, got the airflow. As a matter of fact, I woke up a little grumpy, frankly, this morning. I sometimes do that. And after 10 minutes, just 10 minutes of yoga, I was ready to conquer the day. The ideas started to flow, I started to feel good. And that activity, even just for 10 minutes, I have 10-minute yoga sessions, I have 15, I got 20, I got 30, I got an hour. And I found that just having those on an app, on my phone and on my iPad, where I can just set them there and quickly go through a quick yoga session in the morning, has done wonders for me. And so I'm a big fan, because anyone can do it at home, don't have to go to gym, don't have to spend any money. Well, it's like $3
For the app.
for these great yoga apps. So very, very inexpensive. CrossFit is here, not because anyone can do it or everyone should do it.
Right.
I'm a huge fan of it though, because they focus so much on posture, on body weight exercises, on functional movement, functional strength, functional training. And I find that it is the ultimate thing for all around. If you're not, I don't want to be labeled a runner or even a triathlete or whatever. The label I'm shooting for is just athlete. I just want to be athletic, so that I have an active lifestyle, so that I feel good, so that I have strength, flexibility, speed, endurance, power. I want the whole list. Another reason why I like yoga. I was not very flexible till I started yoga. It's really helped me and rounded out, and I'm better at CrossFit, and I'm better at racing, I'm better at my triathlons, because of this foundational posture, working on strength, working on all this. So the reason CrossFit's here is not because it's for everybody.
Right.
And if you do CrossFit, find a good gym. Don't go to one of these gyms where it's all ego and they're just trying to push you to do stuff out of posture, out of your bracing sequence. You want one where they're going to come and stop you if you're doing things wrong and say, look, your posture is terrible here. Let's drop weight off of this bar and show you how to do this right. And take personal responsibility for that. I see too many people in my own gym who the ego gets going and they want to have as much weight as the next person. I tell you, it's kind of embarrassing for me sometimes, because I can't lift over my head as much weight as the other guys do when I'm in that strong, good posture position, but I won't deviate. I don't care how much weight the guy beside me has.
Right.
I'll do what I can do, even if it's embarrassing, and I feel like I'm not pushing as much weight as the next guy. But you know what? I found time and again, that next guy isn't there in 2 weeks because he's injured.
Yep, exactly.
And I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, nutrition and supplementation.
This is just an overall point that we put on here because, again, when you have a sedentary lifestyle, adding in some proper nutrition, proper supplementation can fill in those gaps. Because there's going to be gaps, right, in relation to whether it is that you couldn't get the lunch that you needed or because you've been in a bad posture for a long time. Doing this can actually help offset some of the issues that you'll find with everything else.
And of course, we have a lot of great supplements
Yeah.
at easywellnessstore.com, so check us out there. For nothing ordinary, all of our products are generally designed for those people that are either trying to lose a lot of weight very quickly, or we don't do multivitamins. You can get those anywhere. You can get that at Costco. We try to do those extraordinary, very interesting, very effective type of supplements. So check out Easy Wellness Store for what I'm talking about. But other than that, anything you want to add or finish out with here on this overcoming the sedentary lifestyle, tips for people getting started?
No, just the main thing is that this is a great springboard to then go do more research. I mean, it's cool. These days you can Google active lifestyle and bam, you'll see all these different things come up that can show you where to start, right?
Yeah.
And so just take the time, do some research in the proper posture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, do some research and learn what works good for you and just start from there. So,
And we'll include, we didn't talk much about it, or maybe at all, about the standing desk.
right.
But if you can stand at your work, it's a phenomenal thing. We'll put a picture of my standing desk, and at our show notes, in the infographic, there's actually a really good little drawing of how high to put it, where to put your monitor. It shows a woman standing at a standing desk with the proper layout and the proper height. All that is on our show notes at ohanachiropractor.com or easywellnessclub.com. Thank you for watching. This is Dave Sherwin and Dr. Kepo'o wishing you success in your health and wellness.